As Abram continued his journey in the land God had shown him, years began to pass. God had made an incredible promise that Abram would become a great nation. But there was still one problem. Abram and his wife Sarai had no children. And as time went on, that promise started to feel impossible. Abram was getting older. Sarai was getting older. And still, no son. One night, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." But Abram was honest with God. "Sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless? The one who will inherit everything I have is a servant in my household." Abram was saying, "God, I still don't have a son." Then God spoke to him again. "This man will not be your heir. A son who is your own flesh and blood will be your heir." Then God did something powerful. He took Abram outside. "Look up at the sky," God said, "and count the stars, if indeed you can count them." Abram looked up. The night sky stretched endlessly above him, filled with more stars than he could ever number. Then God said, "So shall your offspring be." In that moment, God was showing Abram something bigger than he could understand. Even though Abram had no child yet, God was promising him a future filled with countless descendants. And then the Bible says something very important. Abram believed the Lord, and God counted it to him as righteousness. It wasn't because Abram had everything figured out. It wasn't because the promise made sense. It was because Abram chose to trust God, even when it looked impossible. God continued speaking to Abram. "I am the Lord, who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land to take possession of it." But Abram still wondered. "Sovereign Lord, how can I know that I will gain possession of it?" So God made a covenant with Abram, a sacred promise. That night, as the sun went down and darkness fell, a deep stillness came over Abram. And in a powerful and mysterious way, God confirmed his promise, not just with words, but with a covenant that could never be broken. God was not just speaking hope, he was securing Abram's future, even though Abram couldn't see it yet. God's plan was already in motion. Hook for part 12. But even after this promise, Abram and Sarai would try to take matters into their own hands, leading to a decision that would change everything. Next, the birth of Ishmael.